In this video, we're gonna start creating the mouth. However, before I start there, I'm gonna try to see if I can clean up some of these geometry. So basically, I'm coming back and cleaning out some of this geometry so that the edge flows just look slightly better. It's really up to you to constantly be evaluating how your model is looking. So take a minute and do that. So what we're going for is a smooth transition between each one of these vertices. Try to do your best to have that mesh be as smooth as possible. And be mindful that this can take a little bit of time. After doing those adjustments, we're now ready to continue to create the teeth and gums. Let's go and create a polygon pipe. Bring it into position. Go to the inputs, change the radius, change the axis. Bring it to the front. Let's go ahead and delete the faces from the back. And also delete the faces from the side. But before I do, you want to make sure that you have an edge that is going through the middle of the object for symmetry purposes. Go to object mode and just rotate that just so that you have a middle line there. And then go ahead and delete the rest of the faces that you don't need. Right, so I do have symmetry on. Let me go ahead and turn that off. There we go. Now, let's grab these top faces, delete those. Now we can add some edge loops towards the corner, probably towards the top as well. Let's grab these edges and extrude them out. Lower the number of divisions if you need. So let's leave there about 2. Go to the top, grab the vertices. Let's go ahead and check the orientation, set it to world. Now, to fill this little gap here, we can use the append polygon tool. Come here, select this area, hit enter, and one more time, hit enter. Now let's go and smooth this out, so just for us to end up with more geometry. And by the way, we're also, before doing that, we're just gonna move these upwards. Let's go ahead and grab this, extend it outwards so we can move it up just like that. Let's add about 2 edge loops, maybe 3. Now let's go ahead into object mode, mesh, smooth, option box, and let's go with the ones at the visual level. Let's go ahead and click this off. Now we can come here, go to faces. Let's delete this top row and this one too, as we would not really need those. We are more interested in what's happening down here. Let's go ahead and now add every other edge loop. So maybe we'll grab this one, skip that one, this one. Let's go ahead and deselect all the edge loops up until the corners. Just like so. Let's go ahead and move them down slightly. Let's start by creating the teeth. Let's grab a polycube, bring it to place. Let's go ahead and mold that a little bit. Grab the vertices at the bottom, move them together, just like so. Let's go ahead and create an edge loop at the very top and at the very bottom. Let's get rid of this face, top face that is. Just like so. When you hit number 3, you'll see something like that. You can now grab some of the vertices and move them slightly together. Now we can go into the object mode and we can put it in place. I can even add maybe one more edge loop right through the middle, and then that's going to allow me to grab those vertices. Maybe push them a little forward so we have a little bit of that curvature there. Then you can duplicate that and accommodate it accordingly. Change the size of the tooth so that they all look slightly different. For the molars, you can scale them up, push them down, rotate them accordingly. We can make this area a bit bigger if we need to. You can always look for more references if you want to be more accurate. For me, this is very stylized, not realistic, but gets the job done. Okay, once you're happy with your results, let's go ahead and mirror this. Let's grab the teeth, all of them, group them together. To group them together, do Ctrl G. To duplicate them, do Ctrl D. Then let's scale them on X -1. Let's go ahead and fix or adjust whatever needs to be adjusted. I may want to adjust a little bit of this area, maybe just grab some of these faces, just pull them out slightly so that the teeth are actually inside the gum area. We can repeat that here, just like so. We can now group the whole thing together. Once you do, go to Modify, Center Pivot, and then let's put it in place. And now you can duplicate it, and on Rotate Z, do -180. pull that down, accommodate that, put it into place, and adjust it accordingly. All right, things are looking good. One thing that I need to come back and do is the interior of the mouth, as well as the tongue. So we'll do that next. So for this next area, I'm going to take both of these groups and just put them in their own layer. So I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to right click and I'm going to add selected objects. Now this will allow me to turn that on and off. I will now grab the edge inside of the mouth, the whole entire edge loop. And I'm going to extrude inwards a couple of times. And as I extrude inwards, I also want to slightly scale up to have space for my teeth. Let's extrude one more time. Make that slightly higher. At this point, we're going to be very conscious about the shape that we're creating. Let's push that back. Extrude a couple more times. And it is at this point that now we're going to make things a little smaller. Go ahead and extrude one more time, but we're going to make sure that we're pushing things downwards. All right, just last extrusion. Let's push that down towards the neck. Something like that. We can now look at the interior there. We can even accommodate some of these. Okay. Let's bring teeth back. Very good. They seem to be sitting well inside there. Lastly, to finish up, let's create a tongue. We'll do another polycube. Bring it into place. Let's flatten that out. Scale it up slightly. You're looking for about this type of shape. Let's add some edge loops somewhere around there. Let's go ahead now and move the vertices so that we can round this object. All right, there we go. That's good enough. Let's put it into place. Scale it up as needed. Let's scale this down back here. Here we can move things up a bit and something like that. move it back slightly, and there we go. Up next, we're gonna go ahead and start creating the hair.